The Halloween party that ended in betrayal. Halloween nights are supposed to be about masks, candy, and fun. But when secrets are exposed at the wrong party, sometimes the scariest monster is the person you trusted most. Before we dive into the story, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss the next episode. And if you love emotional, twist-filled stories, hit the like button, it really helps us keep bringing you more. Now, let's get into it. Imagine this. The night air was cold, the kind of cold that seeps under your skin and makes you shiver even when you're wrapped in layers. It was Halloween night, and the world outside felt alive with mischief. Children ran down sidewalks in costumes, their laughter echoing through the streets as they clutched candy bags overflowing with sweets. Pumpkins glowed from porches, flickering light dancing across carved smiles that looked more sinister than friendly. But while everyone else was celebrating, I was standing in front of my mirror, frozen. I hadn't planned to go out. Not tonight. Not to the big party everyone had been talking about for weeks. I didn't feel like drinking, or pretending to laugh at bad jokes, or being surrounded by strangers in masks. Truth be told, I didn't feel like myself at all. My phone buzzed. It was her, my best friend, the one who always pulled me into things I didn't want to do but somehow convinced me anyway. Her message was simple: come on. This will be a night you'll never forget. I promise. At first, I typed out a reply to decline. I almost said no, but something in me hesitated. Maybe it was loneliness. Maybe it was guilt that I always found reasons to say no. Or maybe it was just that I didn't want to disappoint her again. So I erased my message and instead typed, fine. I'll come. I grabbed the only thing that could pass as a costume. An old black hoodie and a cheap mask from last year. And I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself it was just one night. But I didn't know then that those words, a night you'll never forget, would come true in a way I could never have imagined. When I arrived, the street was already lined with cars. The house glowed orange and purple, lights strung across windows, fake spiderwebs dangling from corners. Music thumped from inside, a steady beat that made the ground vibrate beneath my feet. She was waiting for me on the porch, dressed like some kind of gothic queen. Her costume was perfect, makeup flawless, black dress flowing with every movement, confidence radiating from her like she owned the night. She grinned when she saw me, looping her arm through mine as though we were kids again sneaking into mischief. I knew you'd come, she said. Her words sounded sweet, but even now, I remember the way her eyes glimmered. Not with joy, with something else. Something sharper. The moment we walked in, it felt like stepping into another world. Shadows danced across the walls, strobe lights flashing, faces hidden behind masks, witches, clowns, vampires, monsters. Everyone was laughing, drinking, shouting over the music. For a second, I almost felt like maybe this wouldn't be so bad. Maybe I could let go for one night. But then, I noticed something strange. People were looking at me. Not just glancing, staring. Their eyes lingered, their whispers followed me as I moved through the room. I tried to ignore it. Maybe it was the mask. Maybe I looked ridiculous. Maybe I was just paranoid. But the unease grew with every step. And then, I heard it. A voice behind me. Cruel. Mocking. Did you hear what she did? Another voice answered. Unbelievable. I'd be ashamed too. The words froze me where I stood. I turned my head slowly, catching the eyes of strangers quickly darting away. Laughter bubbled around me, low at first, then louder, sharper. I didn't understand. What had I done? Why were they all looking at me like that? My best friend squeezed my arm, pulling me closer. But instead of comfort, her smile felt wrong. Too wide. Too knowing. In that moment, I realized something was very, very wrong. The whispers followed me like shadows, growing louder as I moved deeper into the house. Everywhere I turned, faces blurred behind masks, lips curled into smirks. I caught fragments of words. Pathetic, secret, can you believe it? My stomach twisted. Then, across the room, I saw her. My best friend. My anchor. The one I trusted with everything. And she was laughing. Laughing with a group of strangers as she gestured toward me. I pushed through the crowd, my pulse hammering in my ears. When I reached her, the words spilled out before I could stop them. What's going on? Why are they all staring at me? She tilted her head, eyes sparkling like she was enjoying a private joke. Oh, don't be so dramatic. It's just a party. But I knew in that moment exactly what she had done. Because there was only one way these strangers could know what they knew. She had told them. The secret I had whispered to her in confidence. The thing I had never told anyone else, the thing that haunted me. She had taken my pain, my deepest wound, and turned it into her party trick. She had handed it out like candy to anyone who would listen, and now they were all feasting on my humiliation. I felt the ground tilt beneath me. My hands trembled. My throat closed, words sticking like glass. I stared at her, searching for some sign of remorse, some flicker of guilt. But all I saw was delight. Relax, she said with a laugh. It's Halloween. Everyone's joking around. Don't take it so seriously. Her words cut deeper than any knife. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tear off my mask and shout the truth, to tell everyone what she had done. But the words died in my chest. Because what would be the point? They had already chosen their side. They were already laughing. So instead, I looked her in the eye, the girl I once called my sister, my confidant, my friend, and I said nothing. I turned and walked away. Behind me, the laughter grew louder, but I didn't look back. I pushed through the crowd, through the flashing lights, past the grinning pumpkins, out into the cold night. My breath fogged in the air as I stumbled down the street, my mask slipping from my hand, falling forgotten to the pavement. That night, I learned something I'll never forget. The scariest monsters don't wear masks. They don't lurk in haunted houses or creep through shadows. They stand beside you. They smile at you. They earn your trust and then they tear it apart. My revenge wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't about exposing her the way she exposed me. My revenge was silence. My revenge was leaving her behind, letting her live with the ghost of her own actions. Because in the end, there is no mask strong enough to hide the truth forever. And someday, when her laughter fades, she will remember that Halloween. She will remember the night she lost me. And that will be her nightmare.